Let's go to level 2.
Let this be our covenant. These worlds are yours, and you are free to walk amongst them and subdue them. But the great tower, there you may not go. For in the day that you do, you shall surely die.
The Great Tower. Okay, so I'm definitely going to the Great Tower. Okay. Anything new? Incoming network message. Access com portal. Okay. Counter. Yeah, run troubleshooter. Okay. Already knew that. Troubleshooting. I think you'd like help accessing network function. The most common cause of network problem is holding insufficient account privileges. Please enter admin password to authenticate your privileges. Usually it's admin. Password incorrect. Try again. Okay, God. Now let me in. Login out red. Too many folders. Would you like to create a new admin account? Yes, please. In order to print unauthorized access to admin controls, please take a moment to prove you are not a bot. Ooh, I am though. Now we ask a series of inputs to cohere with data protection legislation. You must consent to have your response used to develop a broad psychometric profile. That's dystopian. Raw response data will be deleted immediately. The profile will only be made available to other administrators. Honestly, I say it's dystopian, but it's more utopian than what's there in the real world. Generating certification part 1 ready for user input. Please complete all fields. Please answer quickly and instinctively. Time is a factor in this assessment. Okay. Begin certification program. Yes. 3, 2, 1. 2 plus 2, 4. What is subjective reactive to this image? Content. What best describes a person? A human being? You're walking through the desert and you come across a thirsty traveler. His eyes bulge from... Is this a void contest? Bulge from slow iteration. You have water. You are not sure how far it is to the next oasis. What do? Ignore him, kill him. Successful. Offer half the water. Part 1 of certification process is now complete. You will receive a notification when part 2 has been generated. Oh, okay. Ian.email. Frank another guy. 2 miles another guy. And Dan another guy. Subject Ian. My first day at the Institute of Applied Noematics. It's a noematic. The way to work, I'm terrified. What if they don't like me? What if they're all geniuses and I'm completely buffoon? Maybe they were just kidding about letting me work there. Somebody's got the imposter syndrome. Trembling, I walk in, and right at the entrance, there's a life-size poster of Jeff Goldblum. What the hell? Then I get it. Institute for Applied Noematics, Ian. Dr. E.M. Malcolm from the Jurassic Park movies. Jeff Goldblum. Dr. Sarabhai shows up smiling. We were trying to find a cool acronym back when the institute was founded. She says, Inan Iapin Inap. No. It all sounded stupid, but we didn't just want to call it Ian because, well, that's a name. And someone made a joke about calling it Jeff, and it kind of stuck. So we are officially called Ian. But if you hear someone referring to Jeff, that's our internal name, I guess. I know, bloody geeks. After that conversation, I wasn't so scared anymore. Okay. AthenaAnalysis.html. User Alex16 added 4 notes. Note 1. Noel's first sentence, she woke up in an impossible place, knowing nothing, signifies more than the beginning of another amnesia-based mystery. Though we should not go so far as to read the entire work as allegory. Rather, while the science fictional no was at the core of the narrative, at face value we should blah 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 blah. Note 2. Having no inherent knowledge of the nature of the world, forced to rely on what we are told by others and what our own subjective flawed limited senses tell us, social reality, beliefs, and objective reality matter come into conflict. When, in chapter 16, a second awakening in the kingdom of Artemis, the protagonist questions her mentor on the note 4, a more meaningful interpretation can only be achieved through synthesis of the. I see the reflection between the Athena and what we are doing right now. Ooh, Talos principle.txt. Maybe this will explain what it's all about. Okay, Stratonov Stagira. Whether it is true that Daedalus constructed the giant Talos, or as others say, he was the creation of Hephaestus, what we may be certain of is that he was made of bronze and had but one vein within which flowed a liquid substance like blood, which some claim was quicksilver and others assert was ichor, such as flows in the veins of the gods. The loss of that liquid caused him to die, as a man dies when he loses his blood. May we not then say that Talos, though created as a machine or a toy, had all the essential properties of a man. Moved of his own volition, he spoke and could be spoken to, and wishes and desires. Indeed, in the tale of Argonauts, that was the cause of his downfall. If then a machine may have all the properties of a man and act as a man while driven only by the ingenious plan of its construction and the interaction of its material according to the principles of nature, then does it not follow that man may also be seen as a machine? This contradicts all the schools of metaphysics, yet even the most faithful philosopher cannot live without his blood. That's interesting. So it seems like Talos is an android who acts very much like a man, and it's the usual, well, is he a man or is he a machine? And is man a machine? Okay. So the Talos principle about AI, I suppose. Okay, exit. Also, did it ever okay, I guess it'll let me know if I have admin privileges. I don't know how to get the star. Okay, is that what is that?
When I was a little girl, one of our teachers, Mrs. Higgins, told us to make a time capsule, write letters to the future, so one day we could remember what it was like to be children. I thought it was stupid, so I didn't do it, which I really regret. So, I guess I'm gonna make one now, bury it in the archive instead of under a tree. I don't know if anybody will ever find it, but somehow it seems important to keep talking, to keep thinking, for as long as I can.
You know, what seems interesting to me is that, you know, the library archive is incomplete and broken, and so is this kind of world, right? All these great statues and pillars are broken and old. Nothing lasts forever, I suppose. So it only mentions 3. Are there only 3 puzzles here? Huh. Is this like an old puzzle that's been decrepit? This game does look beautiful. Reminds me of The Witness. That computer scene special. Okay, what's this? Huh. Okay. I don't know if that's a bug or that's intentional. Okay, error, the human machine arc solutions. Open a log. Cannot load archive. That day I oft remember when from sleep I first awake and found myself reposed. Milton John. Under a shade of flowers, much wondering where and what I was, whence thither brought and how. Seems like a poem. John Milton, a poet. Oh, also it says EN on the bottom. The human machine.html. Topic number 3. One day you discover that you are not a human being but a machine. Life so far was real. No one controlled you or programmed you to behave in some specific way. Your physical and mental capacities were identical to those of an organic human being. But you were created in a lab. No one except you knows about this. Your family, your friends, they all think you are a regular human being, like themselves. You could continue to live your life the way you had before, and nothing would change. How do you react? Pay specific attention to these questions. Does your concept of yourself change? Are you the same person you thought you were? Huh. I mean, probably not, right? Your concept of yourself would change if you realized you were a machine. Are you the same person you thought you were? I think you're almost the same person, but this is new information and that makes you a different person from when you discovered that information, right? You can never go back to believing you're just a normal human because you always know that you're not. Does your understanding of the world itself change? Yes, because that technology doesn't exist yet. But I suppose in the game, if that was a possibility, then probably not. Probably the only part of the understanding that would change would be how it happened and why you weren't aware of it before. Do you reveal the information to others or do you keep it to yourself? Why? I guess it would depend on the situation. If it would be beneficial to reveal, then maybe. Also depends on whether they would believe me or not. 1500 to 2000 words. The 26th is the final deadline. No extensions will be granted. Submit via email or... Okay. arcsolutions.email. Bob Rakowski, 208 receipts. Crap. All these calm people are driving me mad. Have they all suddenly turned into Buddha or something? I didn't know the world had such reserves of serenity. Though these latter-day Gautamas are at least being somewhat realistic. You know what's even worse? Those paranoid nutters who are building bunkers and collecting guns. What are they gonna do? Shoot? Though I have to admit, the overall response has been much better than I ever anticipated, to the point where I might be moved by the beauty of humanity if I wasn't such a grumpy old fart. This minority of total idiots is really messing up my final days. Huh. Okay, anyway, the reason I'm writing is because I refuse to believe in scenarios with absolutely no solutions. If we all put our heads together, we can figure something out. It'll be crazy, but crazy is better than dead. Crazy is what we do best on this planet. Okay, so this seemingly hints at a apocalyptic scenario that was along that people could see from far out, and it was very obvious, and this guy was just an apocalyptic scenario that couldn't be solved with bunkers and guns, right? So not a zombie apocalypse, probably a machine uprising of some sort, given the theme of this game so far. Okay, that's all, I suppose. Still don't know what the star means. It's a beautiful scenery, very serene. Is that the first island, or that's part of the scenery, or like a secret island I could go to? I don't know. I guess I'll find out. I don't actually see the tower that Elohim mentioned. Okay, seems like I'm back. Okay, let me do this puzzle. Suicide mission. Interesting. Ooh, a glitch in the matrix. Suicide mission. Okay. What does that mean? What does that entail? Oh, do I unleash the ball to... Also, I don't think this is turned on. Okay, so I can... Do I get them to self-destruct? Well, that was... Suppose that was suicide. But well, there are other ways to turn that on. Namely, pick this up, point it at that, then turn this on, then do that, then open that up. Is it gonna shoot him? Okay, there we go. Just trigger it to explode.
Good. You are learning, as is your purpose. But your choices must be your own. Therefore, I will not guide you, unless it is necessary.
Alright. Seems far for the course. Seems like I'm in a simulation of some sort, I guess. Simulation that's being run on the archive.